Hey, good morning, peeps. It's a majestic day in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I'm out here sitting in some shade at my condo because it's such a beautiful day. And I just felt like getting some fresh air today while I make this video. Now, usually I'd probably go to the old town, but I've honestly been in a very pensive, reflective mood this last couple days. Just because, I'm just feeling very grateful to be here. And I also am I'm a little sad because I know that my time in Asia will come to an end in the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna have to head back home to the US to take care of some paperwork, which, it is what it is. But I know that once that paperwork is done, it's some citizenship paperwork. So I know that once that paperwork is done, I'll be able to travel quite freely again. But yeah, I've been feeling very blessed to be here. As you can see, it's beautiful outside. The sun is shining. I don't have to worry about any of the, for lack of a better word, let's call them undesirables, that I do have to worry about in the US. I don't have to carry a gun everywhere I go. There's just so much to be grateful for here in Asia. So I'm feeling very blessed. And honestly, Chiang Mai has been quite amazing as well. In fact, I'm a little, and again, hindsight is 2020, right? But I'm a little upset at myself for not coming here sooner, to be honest with you. Because initially, obviously I went to Saigon first and spent some time there in District 7. And then I went over to District 9 and I spent some time there too. But I really should have just left and come to Chiang Mai, halfway through my trip, because I really, really, really enjoyed here a lot more. Sorry if you hear a passing car. As I said, I'm at the front of my apartment complex, so there's the street here, and I'll show you guys around later. But yeah, it's been a really, really great month so far, and I've really been enjoying myself here in Chiang Mai. So in this video, I wanted to very briefly just talk about some of the things that I significantly prefer here in Chiang Mai compared to Vietnam. Three main things. Number one is how peaceful and how quiet it is. I don't care where you are in Vietnam, it's never this quiet. It always feels like something is always on go. People are always moving, it's always loud, people are talking. It's just so noisy all the time. And again, maybe it's a symptom of getting old. Maybe I'm becoming an old grandpa, an uncle. I had a kid in America call me an uncle the other day. And I was like, who are you talking to? Like, he said unk. And I was like, who are you talking to? Because I'm like, dude, I'm barely older than you. And I was like, why you call me an unk? I actually said this to the kid. I was like, why did you call me an unk? And he's like, well, you're older than me and I wanted to be respectful. And so I asked the kid, how old are you? And he says, oh, I'm 15. And then I'm like, oh, I guess I am actually an unk because I'm double his age. So, I guess as I go into my unk stage, into my uncle stage, I've become appreciative of quiet and peace and quiet. And, they do say that liking peace and quiet has something to do with higher IQ too. That one might not be true, but I'm hoping it has something to do with that, right? But yeah, I've just really, really appreciated how quiet it's been here in Thailand. When I'm at home, it's very quiet. Even, I think maybe since I've been here, I had one issue with some immigrants from China who were being a bit noisy. But apart from that, it's been very, very quiet. So I really, really appreciate how different that is compared to Vietnam. In Vietnam, I will be honest, that is the main thing that I really dislike, is just how absolutely chaotic and noisy everything is. Even if you're in an office building, even if you're at your apartment building, you're still gonna have so much noise all the time that it just gets absolutely frustrating. When I was in District 7, when I had initially gone to Vietnam, I got a condo in District 7 at first. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, like, it was so noisy during the days that I could not sleep. And I'm talking, this noise was coming from outside. And I was like on the 8th floor and I would still hear the noise from outside, 8 floors down. And then the people in my actual hallway, they would leave their doors open and they would have the TV blasting, and the grandma would be screaming at the kid and the mom screaming at the dad or whatever, and it was just so noisy all the time, and I just did not enjoy it at all. As a matter of fact, that's why I ended up moving over to Grand Park, District 9. And even then, as much more quiet, that was significantly more quiet than District 7, but it was still so noisy. You're hearing horns all the time from the bike people riding around. You're hearing people talking very loudly. It's just a different society, and peace and quiet is just not the norm there in Vietnam. And again, I'm not saying that there's something wrong with that. Maybe you might like Vietnam. Maybe you might fit in there a little bit better. For me personally, I just have really grown used to the peace and quiet, and I really love Chiang Mai a lot more. Another things that I do like a lot more about Thailand so far has been the people. Maybe I had gone through a phase of romanticizing Vietnam. For some reason, I felt like Vietnam had, sorry if I just messed with the mic there. I felt like Vietnam had nicer people. And I think what it is that at the time when I went to Vietnam, there were almost no people of my skin complexion in Ho Chi Minh City. And so I was kind of an outlier. So people always would wave to me. I felt a little bit like a celebrity because people would always wave to me and say hi. And, it was very unusual to see a person of my skin complexion in Ho Chi Minh. Unfortunately, since I have been gone from Ho Chi Minh I left Ho Chi Minh in 2024, things have changed. And I will say not for the better. Unfortunately, and I'm just being blunt here, people with my skin color as well have a bad habit of misbehaving when they travel. And this has obviously gone viral in the news in Saigon and in Thailand as well. And so what people that were a lot more welcoming back then to me in Saigon, and just that aura of welcoming spirit that I felt before, is not really there anymore. And obviously, it's obvious. I'm not complaining about it. I get why it's happened, right? And it really sucks to be automatically judged without people knowing it, because if people get to know me, they will find that I'm a very quiet, jovial, and kind person. But alas, you get punished. The good get punished for the bad, right? There's nothing I can do about that. So I think that's been a factor. Now, coming to Chiang Mai, there already have been obviously many people of my complexion that travel to Thailand already. But the trashy, rowdy crowd tends to stay to the south of Thailand, in Pattaya, in Phuket, in Koh Samui. Maybe not Koh Samui, but Phuket, Pattaya for sure. Most of the rowdy, trashy Farangs are there. And the ones that give a lot of trouble. And so in Chiang Mai, I find that Chiang Mai is a much more peaceful place for starters. And what also happens is that the kind of travelers that come to Chiang Mai are the people that are staying long and are building lives here, and are just more respectable, to the more respectable types of Farangs. They're the people that value peace and quiet. They're the people that don't want to go to party every night. They're not looking to start bar fights or skimp on bills or things like that. There have been incidents, of course, but those aren't the types of Farangs here. So I find that the Thai people in Chiang Mai like the Farangs a lot more and are much nicer to us, regardless of skin color or skin complexion, just because of that simple fact that the quality of Farang here is better. And again, why I can't blame the Thai people for that, because if you are used to a certain type of Farang that's always giving trouble, that's always causing ruckus, that's skimping on bills, that's causing bar fights, well, I wouldn't really want to welcome them to my town or to my city either, to my country either, right? Similar to how in the US we have a lot of immigrants that come there and cause trouble. I won't get into US politics here, but we're much less accepting of immigrants now in 2026 than we were, let's say, in the 1990s or in the early 2000s, or even in the 2000 teens when I came to the US initially. So it's a very different atmosphere, and I really like that about Chiang Mai. People have been extremely nice to me. The good thing as well is I do speak a little bit of Thai, So that helps out, and people can immediately. And I spent the better part of 2.5 years in Thailand. So because of that, I already am used to all the cultural things, and there wasn't much adjustment for me. It actually kind of felt like I was coming back home when I came back to Chiang Mai. Um, and Thailand is my second home at this point, I would say. If I had to, between the US and Thailand, those are my two homes, right? So coming back really felt like I was just coming back home, and I fit right into the culture very easily. Versus coming back to Vietnam, when I came back, even though I'd spent a good amount of time in Vietnam before, it didn't really feel like home. It felt very cold, and people are a lot more abrasive. It's extremely hard to make friends. Even the friends that I did make, I would ask them to hang out, and it was always like they're always either flaking or they're trying to figure out a way to get money from you. And I don't really feel that with Thais as much. There are always going to be exceptions to the rule, of course, right? But I have Thai friends that are genuinely my friends, and that I could hit them up and say, "Hey, man, I'm coming. Can you help me with this?" And they will do everything they need to do to get ready for my arrival, right? Even my landlord here, her and I have such a great relationship because there's a mutual respect between us. And she understands, how I operate, and I understand how she operates, and it's mutually beneficial. So I feel a lot more welcome here. That's the second thing that has made me really appreciate being back in Chiang Mai. And number three, this one kind of is self-explanatory: the food. Again, I know this might start a fight, but I prefer Thai food significantly more than Vietnamese food. It just has so much more flavor, so much more character to it, and yeah, it's been amazing to be back. It's been really, really good. I've enjoyed eating some krapao. I've enjoyed eating some khao soy. I've had a whole bunch of khao pad gung, which is fried rice. The only thing I haven't had since I've been back is pad thai. I actually think pad thai is a bit overrated, which again might be fighting words to some people, but everyone that actually lives in Thailand knows that the actual national dish of Thailand is pad krapao, right? So I've been having a ton of krapao every day. I've been eating khao man gai, which is just chicken and rice. So it's been amazing. And yeah, there's just so much more flavor and so much more substance to the food. And then the other thing about Thai food is there's more variety. While in Vietnam, you do have a lot of variety. I'm not going to say Vietnam doesn't have variety, but Thailand, there's just so much more. You have all kinds of soups, all kinds of curries, all kinds of different noodle dishes. The only thing they don't really have is sandwiches, a lot of sandwiches. But, you have places here that sell banh mi. So I'm not really worried about missing out on my banh mi. So it is what it is, But yeah, I really prefer it here. In terms of the food, it's more to my palate. I feel more at home here in general. So yeah, that's my thoughts on being back in Chiang Mai. I hope that you guys watching, if you're thinking about picking between Thailand or Vietnam, and especially if you're the kind of traveler who wants somewhere that's more homey, somewhere where you'll feel more at peace, Chiang Mai is that place if you're looking for that. I will say though, if I had to pick a city that I would live in Thailand, my favorite city is still going to be Bangkok. And that's simply because of all the amenities that Bangkok has. It's very, very hard to beat Bangkok. Bangkok has so much to offer in terms of quality of life, the condos that you can get there, the people that you can meet there. I will say as well, as a precaution, if you're looking to make long-term friends, it's going to be a little bit harder to find that in Bangkok easily, because a lot of the people in Bangkok are very transient. In Chiang Mai, people tend to stay a bit longer. A lot of the people that I've met in the past 2 weeks that I've been here are people that have been here for, half a year, going on a year, or, some even 2-3 years. Some of my friends that live here have been here for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, and more. So it really depends on what you're looking for. I like a mix of the city life and having access to a lot of amenities, having access to a really nice condo building, which I will show you around my condo in another video. My condo is very nice here, but Bangkok has that hyper-modern, almost like New York Central Park feel if you're in the right part of Bangkok, where you have that skyline view going all the way down the train. You have the skyline view of Lumpini Park if you live around the Siloam area. So there's a lot to offer in Bangkok. Whereas Chiang Mai is more like a, homey, small condo, low-rise condo. You have some townhouses. You can get a flat. There's so much things to get here. So yeah, I've enjoyed being back here in Chiang Mai this trip. And honestly, I kind of regret that I didn't come back sooner because, it's just been significantly better. That being said, I really appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And of course, feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.